My name is Lillian Aber. I am the current woman member of parliament for Kitgum district, but also the flag bearer for NRM for the same position in the election of 2026. I am very happy that I have finally concluded my election process, the campaign process. I finished yesterday, and I'm now rolling down into issues of vote protection, preparing my agents, and ensuring that all the votes are channeled towards our success. I just want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Kitgum. Thank you so much for the overwhelming support. I have really enjoyed the campaign trail because it was full of gratitude, full of testimony, full of gifts. And to me, this is a good sign that if you are a leader who has worked for people, people will always appreciate you. And I want to thank the entire team from Kitgum, my supporters, the NRM fraternity, and those who don't even have affiliations to any political party. There are those who are even in opposition who support me as well. And I want to say that I am very optimistic that 15th will really register a massive victory, and I expect a very high percent. Not only just a win, but a very high percent. Of course, I am also very sure that the percentage for the president is going to double what we had before, because some of the questions that the communities were raising have already been answered, like the issues of the cattle compensation. That issue has been answered because the process has already started. And we also had to explain to the community, as people who are serving in the current government, the plans of government ahead in the next, after this election. And people are very optimistic. So I'm very expectant of getting a very good percentage, both for the president and also for myself. But allow me say this, I was quite disappointed with my opponent, where she came in and involved herself in violence. She ordered for the beating of one of the NRM supporters, the NRM flag bearer for Mia Nyima, called Kamau. This gentleman is nursing a wound, is broken, is in pain, and I really don't know why people would go into violence. It's not necessary. What is important is to sell your agenda, and we have to speak the message of peace. And let me really emphasize this, my supporters, to all my supporters, let's embrace peace. Let's do vote protection, but with peace. Nobody who supports Lillian Aber should be involved in any election violence. I have already heard a rumor that my opponent is planning to use my own t-shirts and dress some people up to go and beat other people. So they can say Lillian Aber is violent and Lillian Aber has gone into beating people. If anybody has been used to beat you, please let the police know and they arrest the person immediately. Whoever is going to be used to wear my t-shirts to go and beat people, just report immediately. They will be arrested, because the law doesn't allow violence in an electoral process. I don't want people to really think that if you mobilize somebody to go and do a wrong, they are going to go scot-free. No, we are not going to allow this. We will make sure that our people are safe and our people are not, intimidated. It's just an election process. Let the person that is chosen by the community win in peace. So I want to call upon the community, the local leaders, be very vigilant to monitor who is coming from outside your area, because we are going into the eve of election process. The bad mind people will always plan weird things, and they want to destroy and even involve the name of government, that government has done ABCD. Kitgum district, we don't embrace violence. We want to see peaceful election process, and I'm very sure that the security is well prepared to ensure that the whole entire process is peaceful. So if you go and mobilize any young person, the youth specifically, don't be used to go into election violence, because you will remain alone. You will face the law alone. The person who has mobilized you, the little money that you have been promised or given will not be able to save you. Let's go into this process peacefully. It's just a game. Let people choose who they want, and that will be it. After 15th, life goes back to normal, how we have been living. So me, I just want to thank the entire team, the Electoral Commission team, for the fair play, the leveled ground for everybody. And I hope that that same leveled ground which was provided will also be still provided during declarations and all the entire election process. Now, there is information that has come in. We have been reliably informed that election materials will be transported to the sub-county headquarters tomorrow. I want to call upon my supporters and the local leaders to guard those election materials. Nobody should tamper with those election materials. You have to make sure you are very vigilant so that those materials are not tampered with by anybody. They should be intact the way they have been delivered. They have to be inspected before they have transported them to the sub-counties, and when they arrive, they should also be inspected from there. We don't want a case of somebody has been cheated. No, let people win on a fair, leveled ground. If you have lost, you've lost knowing that it was not your time. If you won, meaning that people had their trust in you. That is what I really want to implore my people to concentrate on. And everybody who supports a candidate, be there to make sure that you guard the election materials. We don't want to hear complaints that ABCD happened. This is the same information that I would send out there to even those who are not leaders. You have a right to be there to make sure that you protect those election materials. We have not had any, any disagreement in terms of venue, that so and so is supposed to be here and why did this person come. I particularly never created that kind of atmosphere. If I was supposed to have my rally in a certain place and I get to know another person had already mobilized people to be there, I would postpone my rally to the next day. And that is also a way of making sure that there is no violence. So apart from the area being very big, there is nothing much that I would say I've encountered. But the violence, the abuses, the lies, the propaganda are the issues that I just got used to it. I started hearing propaganda and things that I am not even aware of. But that is it. That is how some people structure their campaigns. But for me, as Lillian, my message was purely on things that I have done in relationship to what I had promised, and then things that I intend to do, and the challenges that were there. So I did 2 phases of my campaigns. The first phase, I moved in all the parishes. The big parishes could break meetings into 2 or 3. And within my campaign message, I also had the voter education message. We would sensitize them on how we should vote. But after the first phase, I sent my team on ground to go village by village. And as they were doing the village mobilization, we printed samples of how you are supposed to vote. That shows clearly where you are supposed to vote, and if you're using a thumbprint, where you're supposed to place the thumbprint. And I think the community is quite aware. Then the machine is basically going to be operated by those who are trained. Even if we had to speak about it, the community wouldn't really understand. But the people who have been given this responsibility have been fully trained, and I'm sure that they are aware. I think that is a very clear system because it gives clear records. There's nothing like more ballot papers were, ticked, because you go to the system and you count how many thumbprints were there, how many people voted, and that system sends the message directly to the center. So this time round, if anybody had intentions to cheat elections, it's quite difficult. And I really don't think they should even try, because it will not be possible and you'll just be wasting your time and money.